Good morning, all my dear students. Today we are going to revise our next poem, I Cannot Remember My Mother, by the poet Rabindranath Tagore. Before I start explaining you the poem once again, let's read out the poem. I cannot remember my mother, only sometime in the midst of my play, a tune seems to hover over my playthings, the tune of some song that she used to hum while rocking my cradle. I cannot remember my mother, but when in the early autumn morning the smell of the shuli flowers floats in the air, the scent of the morning service in the temple comes to me as the scent of my mother. I cannot remember my mother, only when from my bedroom window I send my eyes into the blue of the distant sky, I feel that the stillness of my mother's gaze on my face has spread all over the sky. This poem, written by Rabindranath Tagore, is for his beloved mother, remembering her after she has died. He is remembering her song, her fragrance, and her gaze. He feels her presence everywhere. So, in this poem, the poet, who lost his mother in infancy, has only faint recollection of her now. The poet states that he cannot remember his mother now. However, when he is in the middle of his play with his playthings, he senses a tune hovering over him. It is the same tune that his mother used to sing while she used to hum while rocking his cradle. Another thing, when he is again reminded of his mother, is during early autumn morning, when the smell of shuli flowers floats in the air, then the poet smells the scent of the morning service in the temple. In that smell, he senses the scent of his mother. When the poet is in his bedroom, he looks out into the blue of the distant sky. He feels the silent, steady, and protective gaze of his mother being cast down at him from her heavenly abode. Her face seems to be spread all over the sky. And yes, in this poem, he repeats one line, I cannot remember my mother, many times. He repeats it so because he does not exactly remember how his mother looks, but he has some faint recollection of her. So, through this poem, the poet really shows her love for her mother and longs to see him and misses her a lot in his life. Through this poem, the poet remembers his mother through many things, to small things in his life which makes him remember his mother, and he just imagines how his mother looked like and misses her a lot in his life. Thus, this poem shows a very strong and emotional bond of a mother and a child. It even makes us sympathize with the small child who has lost his mother at such a young age. So I hope you all must have understood this poem. So once again, just go through this poem, and in the next lesson we shall discuss the question answers in brief and other questions related to some literary devices used in this poem. So till then, my dear students, just learn well and prepare well for your upcoming exams. Thank you very much and have a nice day ahead.